Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel where we discuss the Power Platform. In today's episode, we're going to be having a look at the March 2021 Power Apps update. Now, this is formed of a few different sources, so it's a kind of amalgamation of what is in the Power Apps blog for this month, and I also go over what's in the Power Apps community call, because there are some very great speakers there that always bring some great content, which I think is definitely worth bringing to attention. So firstly, in the Power Apps blog, there are a couple of features here, so not as many as some of the other months. So there are 4 here that I'd like to chat about. So the first one here is that you can now have more environments. So based on the number of Microsoft 365 seats an organization has, this entitlement increases up to about 10,000 now, which is pretty amazing. And now customers in South Africa, Switzerland and UAE can now create Dataverse for Teams. So that's pretty amazing. The second feature here is the ISV offering, so the independent software vendor offering, and now has more features to allow publishers to do the publishing process in PartnerUp, so kind of making that process a lot more seamless. Got the Power FX there, which is basically the low-code language that we know in Power Apps. And now this is kind of been rebranded as such as Microsoft Power FX. And this low-code language is now going to be expanded across the suite of Microsoft Power Platform. And the third one here is it's a new piece in the COE Starter Kit. So this is essentially a feature which can help you look at any data loss prevention policies that are changing and kind of configuring those. So just to show a little bit of a visual there for this one, it essentially looks like this. So you can kind of name your policy and you can kind of monitor your policy as well. In the Microsoft Power Apps call, Reza Durrani talked about creating responsive Dataverse for Teams. I mean, this is pretty cool because, you know, I've made responsive applications in the past before they existed with the container controls. I've, you know, looked at Teams and using my Power Apps within Teams, but I haven't done both. So I have a Teams open here, and I've got Teams and Power Apps that I've just selected. So if I create an app and to show you some of those container controls, so I select the team that I want it to be in. Just take a second while that's loading. But yeah, I do urge you to have a look at that, the community call. Let's call this a test. Just give that a second. Cool. So you see here, I can now add a new screen, and I've got some different controls that I can add. So I can actually put this into the header sidebar, and that actually is responsive by design. So if I show you one of those, let's go for the header one. There's just a few properties to check here. Just, you know, this is just a starter. If you look at the width and the X, those are the bits that we want to make kind of responsive. So for example, we can make the width app.width. And that will mean as we kind of, you know, play with this application, those controls will always kind of shrink to the page. And you can see it basically is pretty much responsive to begin with. So that's great. You can see here that the horizontal container and the vertical container exist here as well. Uday presented about using AI Builder to do form processing and using Power Automate to basically do that form processing and push that data into another area. So yeah, do check that out as well. That's pretty interesting. And then Power Apps ALM by Phil and Mike. So essentially, like Power Apps ALM is a way of kind of doing that source control for all your solutions. It shows you the history of all your solutions from DevOps, and it can push into other environments, and it can even use, like a flow to approve the deployment. So there's a couple of screenshots here. So this is actually in a private preview at the moment. So this area here as well, you can see some of the kind of areas there where you can push the changes out. You can create the pull requests, delete the solution, all that kind of thing you'd expect to do in kind of your DevOps or in that kind of way. And this is making Power Apps a much more kind of friendly, easier way of deployment. So very exciting. And a few cool stuff here. So this is again from the Power Apps community blog. So you've got the Power Apps mobile app link there. Custom functions are very interesting. So it's basically using Power Apps code to create more code almost. I had a quick look at it. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. Then Demo Extravaganza, which is the competition that Power Apps community will run for the best app. Definitely worth checking out. And of course, PowerFX, which is really the big news of March 2021. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again on another episode. Thank you.